Why don't we give him a little workout and see for ourselves just how strong he really is?
My dark magician girl.
No,
Nobody touches my baby and gets away with it. Next time you'll pay.
So recently I've been watching Hajime no Ippo with my fiance, and given that I've been reviewing and breaking down a lot of characters recently, I decided rather than obnoxiously shadowboxing my partner, I'd be better off spending my time making a video for you guys. So if you were ever bullied in life and want to find out how to never be bullied again, keep watching till the end, because Ippo figured out that solution a long time ago, and I'll show it to you. Let's go. So everyone meet Ippo. Ippo is a 5'4", 160 pound, quiet and goofy kid. Ippo grew up just like us. He was a regular kid with no hobbies, no passions, and really no voice of his own. Ippo spends the majority of his time either at school or helping his mother with her fishing shop. And although every day is fast-paced for Ippo, his life still seems mundane. And this causes him to drift through without a real reason to truly exist. He works hard, but has nothing that truly excites him in life. But one day, Ippo is given a chance to truly make a change. Now, change in life usually comes about after a long period of pain, or sometimes even a sudden traumatic event. And whether it be for the better or the worse, this change will come. And truly, it's up to you and how you accept that change that life has given you. Now, in Ippo's case, he chose correctly. But before we get into that, let me show you a little bit more about Ippo. Being a 5'4", small, quiet kid, you can imagine you are quite the bully magnet. And being that weight and that height at his age, I can vouch for this. Now, Ippo one day after school is pulled aside by some of his peers. Yeah, right, peers. These guys look like they're 32 years old. Kind of reminds me of that movie Benchwarmers. I am 12. Anyway, Ippo is pulled aside by these giant bullies. And just because he is a nice and quiet guy, he gets the absolute shit kicked out of him. And I want to say here that older anime doesn't hold back. Ippo honestly gets the shit kicked out of him. The poop. It's kicked. It's out. Gone. No more. Now this was the change that I spoke about earlier. And before I tell you how Ippo chose correctly, I need to introduce one key character. Meet Takamura. Now, just like in anime fashion, in comes our hero, right? Ready to save the day. Yeah, right. In this anime and in real life, you quickly learn that no one is coming to save you. Now, although Takamura scared off Ippo's bullies, he doesn't let Ippo just become a victim. He takes him back to a location where he is safe, and that's where Ippo can finally experience the change that he needs. Ippo wakes up not knowing where he is, and is amazed and surprised at the lively atmosphere. The sound of punches hitting leather bags and the tough faces surrounding him make him feel like he's in the wrong place. He comes to find out that Takamura has bandaged him, and Ippo is thankful. But following this, we get to see something that I truly love about this anime. And that's the realness. The things that no one wants to hear, but the things that we all need to hear. And I will let Takamura say that for himself.
I absolutely detest the bullies in town who prey and pick on the weak. But what really bothers me is people like you who just let it happen and don't fight back.
Now this to me is beautiful, and it's the catalyst for change in Ippo's life. Do you take the beating, play victim, and continue being a coward? Someone who can't even stand up for their own mother? Or do you finally stand up for yourself, even if it means accepting tough challenges? Well, I think everyone here knows the answer to that. And thankfully, so did Ippo. Now, at first, Ippo is upset and reverts back to being a shy kid. But thankfully, he receives a way out. That's right, the solution that no one has ever thought of. Put your bully's face on a piece of paper and punch it. Now, did punching this piece of paper fix Ippo's bullying problem? No, of course not. But this one punch right here is the first step in making a true change in Ippo's life. It's the first time he has taken control of a situation and acted. Even though he was scared, even though he felt stupid, even though he was anxious, he did what he wanted to do. Now, before I get to how this can be applied to real life, and before you go beating on anyone who just looks at you the wrong way, we need to touch on a few more things in Ippo's story. So as I said, Ippo never had anything that truly made him feel alive. At night he'd help his mother, and through the day he would go to school. But now, thanks to Takamura, boxing, and a chance for change, Ippo set upon a path that allows him to become someone he can truly be proud of. Now, in this video, I'm not going to get into the later stages of the competitive side of boxing, but what I do want to touch upon is how this all relates to real life. Day and night, Ippo is obsessed with the one and only goal he has ever had. He wants to know what it feels like to truly be strong. And this right here is something that all young men want to feel. We all want to feel strong. We all want the ability to protect our loved ones. And that's why Ippo's journey and consistency spurs us on so much. As we watch this anime and we watch the beautiful sunset training arcs, we sit there and wish for Ippo to reach his goal, to prove to ourselves that it's possible. And eventually it happens. We see Ippo day in, day out, training to be better. And finally, after overcoming many obstacles that he's faced along the way, he finally comes face to face with the people that hurt him. And this next part is so empowering. Ippo is asked if he's become a boxer just to defeat his bullies and get revenge. And you'll have to hear the response from Ippo himself.
I didn't decide to start boxing for some pitiful reason like revenge. I really love the sport, and that's why I'll become a professional boxer.
And never touch my dark magician girl ever again.
This to me was beautiful and empowering because in anime we see revenge used a lot. And I think that people who have been bullied in the past truly fantasize and relate to this trope. We all want that revenge on the people that hurt us. But in Hajime no Ippo, we see that Ippo's love for boxing and his newfound desire to push himself and be strong goes far beyond his revenge for his bullies. In their mind, they are thinking so small, but in his world, they aren't even a problem anymore. He couldn't care less. In fact, without these bullies originally beating him to a pulp, Ippo never would have had that chance for change. Inadvertently, the beating that Ippo got allowed him to become the best version of himself. And now he feels more alive than ever. And he also feels the most confident he's ever felt. And this is where I wanted to show you how this applies to real life. Just like many of you, I was bullied. Hell, I even bullied some people. And that's just what kids do in school. Now, for me, I was small and couldn't do anything about it. But when you become an adult, there are things that you can do. So when I got out of school, I went to the gym. I put on a lot more weight and suddenly people stopped picking on me. And now people were somehow more respecting of me. Was this because I was more muscular and bigger? Partially, yes, but mostly it was because of the way that I carried myself. No longer did I feel small and vulnerable. No longer did I put that out into the universe that I was a victim. No more poor me attitude. And the way I carried myself changed. Now at this time period, I'd also become an adult, so people mature more. And one thing you have to realize that people in school are mean. And that shit will stick with you for a long time. But eventually when you become an adult, you have to let it go. Now, does that mean there's going to be times where adults don't try to push you? Of course not. Adults try to step on you all the time. It's just human nature. But even as an adult, you need to stand up for yourself. And that's where this applies to real life. So if you want the bullying to stop and you want to be more proud of yourself, I urge you to join a gym. Whether it be a fighting gym, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, MMA, boxing, Muay Thai, anything like that, or you can just generally go to the gym and put on a little bit more muscle. Not only will some of these options teach you to defend yourself, but you'll also learn here that confidence is not built through beating people up. It's built through setting yourself goals and sticking to those goals, telling yourself that you're going to do something and actually doing it. That is how confidence is built. If you always tell yourself, I'm going to do X, and then you do it, you have trust in yourself and your own word that every time you say, I'm going to do something, you do it. That is true confidence. And that is what Ippo learnt along his journey. So do you want to keep being a victim, or do you want to stand up for yourself? Pick the correct path, just like Ippo did, and I promise you, you will feel way better. Now guys, beating people up won't make you feel better. Hell, it'll probably land you in jail. But there is a certain level of respect that people get when they don't take any shit. So be that person, because honestly, you deserve it. Guys, thank you very much for watching. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to slap the shit out of like and subscribe button and my ass. And also click on this video on my face. Rock Lee, another badass, another fighting anime. God damn. Click the video.
Oh yeah, click it. Click the video. Ooh.